Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Now today is Sunday, so you know what that means. It's time to go around the net with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. So on the docket for today, we basically have an episode of the blue chips, right? First, we're going to check in on an IHG story that I missed, but you guys pointed me in the right direction. Then we have a lot of Chase. We have some pay yourself back extensions. We have a Chase business card, which is basically what is old is now new again, I guess you could say. Then we have a few Amex quick hits and talking about Amex membership week to see if you feel truly valued as a member. So of course, if that sounds interesting to you, then go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. Now, of course, we are going to lead off with the IHG data hack, right? So again, I don't know, maybe a month ago almost. This is definitely my drop, actually, because we talked about the IHG cards missing from the Chase website. And at the time of taping, they were not there, which was odd because they just refreshed a few of them and launched a new business card. And we didn't really know why. Well, it turns out that IHG had been hacked, or at least been attempted to be hacked, right? You'd be the judge of how this kind of went. So here's the story, then we'll talk about it a little bit afterwards. So what you did, you had a hacker couple from Vietnam who initially wanted to plant ransomware, but IHG, their systems, their IT folks fought back as they're supposed to. So again, the hackers basically changed it to a wiper attack, I guess, which is basically just, hey, we deleted a bunch of your data, quote, for fun. Now, the thing that's going to get everyone to laugh is because the password was QWERTY1234 is what they found in the system, is how they got in. QWERTY is like kind of the first row of the keys on your keyboard. Now, there is a quote here from the hackers that we don't feel guilty. Really, we prefer to have a legal job here in Vietnam, but the wage is average $300 per month. I'm sure our hack won't hurt the company a lot. So, quote's pretty silly, honestly, doesn't matter what your situation is, doesn't necessarily make it right. I think we can all agree to that. So again, what they ended up doing is just deleting a bunch of information, which again still probably hurts. I don't think they made out with anyone's information. So as a result, I didn't read anything that said that they're like directly tied between the hack and then the cards going away, but for a while. But I think that's what it is. You don't necessarily want to be signing up new things, introducing new data to the system, when you're trying to work through, okay, what's here, what's missing, what's on backup, what's not. So I'm going to go on a limb and say that's probably why we have seen the IHG cards pulled for now. I don't believe they deleted anyone's accounts or rewards points or things like that. But again, it just makes sense. Go triage mode, do a little bit of damage control. So, thank you guys for sending that my way. I definitely missed it because it's not a new story. But again, that's why I believe the cards are not on Chase's website. So again, we should see those coming back soon, once they get everything fully sorted out there. So with that, we're now going to talk about Chase itself, and we have one of our favorite features, Chase Pay Yourself Back, right? So if you're unfamiliar, this has historically been for the Sapphire, Reserve, and Preferred, and then the Ink cards as well. Basically, Chase gives you some categories where you make purchases on your Sapphire card, for example, then you could actually redeem Ultimate Reward points at a 1.5x back rate to cover that purchase. This is the same rate you would get if you were booking travel through the travel portal, hence Pay Yourself Back. So this has been around for, I don't know, maybe a year and a half, 2 years now. So they've extended them. So let's see what we get this time. So we'll start with the Sapphire line, then take a look at the Ink line. And here you have it. Again, Sapphire Reserve is going to give you 1.5x. Your categories here are dining, Airbnb, and of course you can pay your annual fee, so they are unchanged. Sapphire Preferred as well, 1.25x. It just gets Airbnb, and this has been extended through the end of the year. Now we have the Ink cards as well. So Ink Preferred here, 1.25x, phone, internet, cable, and they did re-add shipping, which is nice. Ink Cash and Unlimited, again, same categories, just a 1.1x valuation, and then this also going to be extended through the end of the year as well. So, on one hand, I've been a big fan of Pay Yourself Back. I definitely like being able to pay the annual fee because it's kind of like the trifecta is paying for itself. You could definitely argue it may not be the best use of points depending on how you want to talk about transfer partners and things like that, but I think it's a fine option. When I had the Sapphire Reserve, I did use the Pay Yourself Back to cover the annual fee. I think I feel like they don't necessarily know what to do with this feature anymore. It's good that they're extending it, but I would still like to have seen the categories rotate. Dining does make sense because it's a dining card, but not having it on the Sapphire Preferred doesn't really make sense because it also has dining as well. Not having the annual fee piece on the Sapphire Preferred also doesn't make sense. Yes, it's a much lower annual fee, but still, I don't know why, what the point would be just to separate them. Airbnb, I know that Chase has a partnership with them. I'm still expecting an Airbnb card at some point in the future now that we know we're getting like a DoorDash card from Chase and we just saw Instacart. I'm going to imagine it's coming. So again, it's a travel card, so it makes sense, but I would still like to see some variation. I think we said it here before, like, hey, why don't they almost make it rotating categories, make the annual fee, payment permanent, and then rotate them through. So, there's that. I think the ink ones are a little bit better, especially shipping being added to the ink preferred, because again, I believe that does give you 3x back on shipping. So that right there, pretty handy. So of course, let me know what you think about the extension in the categories and what you were hoping to see, as well as what do you think Chase should do with this, if they're going to leave it, like what would give this feature new life and make it helpful or more fun. Love to get your thoughts on that. But with that, we now turn to what I'm calling what's old is now new again. We have the launch or relaunch of the Ink Premier. So if you remember way back when the Ink Premier was announced, it is a brand new Chase business card. And, it went live technically, earlier this year, because I have one, but, Chase never put it on the website for whatever reason. Now, I talked to some folks in the comments who have been told by their business relationship manager from Chase that, they never did it because it was due to the popularity of the card or something like that. Well, I believe you that that's what you were told. It doesn't really line up because you have the card on screen here. It is now on Chase's website. It's not a card that would be overly popular in my opinion. Granted, it is aimed at businesses, but because the ultimate reward points don't transfer out, I can confirm this. Because again, I have the card. Now, it's not a bad card, but it's definitely targeted at businesses. It's almost Chase's answer, in my opinion, to the Capital One Spark line, right? Like a mini warehouse in your line, if you will. Because again, this is kind of like a charge card, so to speak, even though mine does have a $10,000 credit limit on it. But I had this card. I had found a link on the Doctor of Credit comments section that someone posted, and I was surprised that it worked, but I did get in that way. I don't remember how they got the link, but I got in, and people have been asking me about this card because I did feature it in a video where I used it to pay off my car through plastic, which of course you can't do anymore because plastic kind of clamped down on that. But again, it made sense because that 2.5x valuation on or a multiplier on purchases above a $5,000 or more basically offset the fee on plastic. So I do think there is a use case for this card, especially for the sign-up bonus. For sure, it's, maybe consider this around tax time potentially, right? If you have a lot of taxes to pay, government charges 1.98% to pay your taxes. And again, you can see it'll be 2%. So that would cover it if it's under $5,000, but if it's $5,000 or more, 2.5%, which means you could easily hit the sign-up bonus, take care of that processing fee, keep the card for a year, then probably downgrade it to another Ink Cash card or something like that. But either way, a lot of people ask me about it. So I'll link my full video down below about it. And then if you go to Chase's site, you can now apply for it. So with that, equal opportunity, we're now moving to the other blue chip, and we're talking about American Express. So this is kind of a quick hit. A while back, we did talk about American Express getting into the checking account game, personal checking account game, and a lot of people were actually really excited about this checking account, which is great, but the show recommendation was to hold off until they offered a sign-up bonus. Well, now there is a targeted sign-up bonus going on for this personal account, so here you go. If you have an Amex card, I think this is what you'd be looking for. So you could get $200 simply by depositing $5,000 of new money in this account. And of course, you need to keep that on deposit for about 90 days. Now, we were talking about this in the past when I didn't have a second channel dedicated to bank account bonuses. So even though this is targeted, I might end up making a video over there about it. I'll link that channel down below if you're interested. If I had received this offer, I would probably do it. Now would be the time to pull the trigger. I have an Amex Delta card, but no targeted offer yet, so you might need, the regular Amex cards to end up targeted. But I do imagine this will go more mainstream soon. I think we've seen that with the business accounts and the Cabbage accounts. They eventually open it up to everyone. So hang tight. I'll probably put something on the other channel about it if you're interested, because I do think, it's a decent offer, especially considering a lot of folks were excited about this offer. Now, with that, we move to another Walmart Plus update here. So Walmart Plus is really kind of trying to make a push and adding new features. And as a result of them adding new features or limited time deals, Platinum card holders do take advantage because you get your Walmart Plus through the Platinum card. So this time it is a quick one, but now Walmart Plus is adding a $15 lift credit. And so you do need to go through your Walmart Plus membership to get this. So, if you're using Lyft for something like that and you have Walmart Plus, I think it's fine, especially when it comes to the Platinum, you're trying to get any amount of value you can out of it, especially with that annual fee. And so there you have it with the credit or coupon, if you will. Now, the last thing we have for American Express is Amex Member Week or Membership Week, right? It's a week where Amex says, hey, look, we value you giving us all this money in annual fees and being a member, right? That's kind of how they push it. Even on their cards, it says member since, X date. So Membership Week features bunch of, I don't know, deals, things like that you can get. They have some live entertainment stuff like that. I'll put it all on screen for you. We'll just talk through some of it. So here you have it. It starts technically October 10th. So on October 10th, they're saying, hey, HBO Max, you can get a $50 statement credit after enrolling and spending $100. Under Armour, I wear Under Armour when I work out, and that's pretty good. Get a $25 statement credit after enrolling and spending $75. Dell, the Container Store. Don't sleep on the Container Store, dudes. I got some shoe boxes from there. They work great. It's a silly thing, but don't sleep on the Container Store. You can see Tuesday, you've got more credits there. They're kind of plugging Resi there. And then it keeps going all week. We got some stuff through Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and there's some Calm memberships. There's some more Equinox stuff, things like that. And then I believe there's some kind of live entertainment stuff as well. I don't know how actually getting tickets and getting there is going to work, but that's kind of Amex membership week. Now, overall, in typical Amex fashion, even though it's about the members, you can see the ones we read through said enroll, enroll, enroll. You have to enroll on these once again. It's not just going to be a given, which I think is a bit much if you're trying to appreciate me as a member. I think it should be just easier. I don't have to go in and opt into member week. Just being a member should count. But again, that's just one of my many annoyances. Granted, all the card issuers do it. So, that is membership week. If you have an Amex card, definitely let me know if you're interested in one of those perks or, in the live entertainment. Or, as a member, what did you expect or what did you want them to do? Because we do see membership week come up quite a bit, at least I think once or twice a year. And we do have some lifelong Amex members out there, who do love the card. So I'd love to get your thoughts on that. But anyways, guys, that has been the news for this week. So if you liked it, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found a particularly interesting course, consider subscribing to the channel. Again, we're posting content just like this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and right back here every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. As always, question for you guys, sound off down below about the stories. The ink premiere is here. Are you finding interested in it still? Are you going to pull the trigger? What do you think about IHG member week? And of course, what else have you seen going on in the news? Love to get your thoughts on that. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. As always, thank you so much, and I'll talk to you on Monday.